need watching my channel. If you like what you're seeing, you can like, share, subscribe. You can also donate via PayPal. The link is in the description. I was supposed to do a stream last night at around 3 o'clock in the morning, but that did not work out because I fell asleep. I was very exhausted. I was very tired. And so I just had to go to sleep. Okay? So the stream is actually going to happen right now. And we're recapping the weekend fights in boxing. We're looking at Gilberto Ramirez versus Bilam-Smith. We're looking at William Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer. We're looking at Barrios versus Abel Ramos. We're looking at Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. There's some other fights on the undercard of Tyson versus Jake Paul. We won't really necessarily cover Tyson versus Jake Paul if you guys want to talk about that, but I never was interested in that fight. So let's get into it. This is the weekend fights. First of all, though, this stream is brought to you by LIVE products. LIVE. Live now. We're live now. Here I have a fabric softener. LIVE fabric softener. Also have LIVE dishwashing liquid. Now, mind you, LIVE products are in two categories. We have natural fruit juices, and then we have cleaning products like these. I'm going to show you an example of some natural fruit juices. I'm actually making the drinks as I speak right now. So I'm trying to finish off my orders so that I can export them out. Trying to remember. Yeah. Okay. So this here is Morbi. It hasn't been labeled yet. This is the Morbi drink, and it tastes spectacular. I can tell you that right now. And we also have some other flavors. Let's see if I can get some here for you guys to see. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So. Oh okay. So here are some other flavors here. LIVE products. Hold on a second there. Okay. So we got LIVE fruit punch. Fruit punch. We got LIVE orange juice. We got LIVE lime. That's right, lime juice. Tastes really good. And we got LIVE grapefruit juice. If you are in the Trinidad and Tobago area, you got to try these drinks out. They're natural fruit juices. The only thing inside of them is sugar. The lowest level of sugar you will get, it's 1.5 tablespoons of sugar or 22 grams of sugar, which is the lowest you need to. I mean, if you have anything with sugar in it, that's the lowest you will get. And they taste really good. They taste really spectacular. So I'm just going to put these things back. There you go. Couple lime drinks here. Okay, and I'm gonna prep for some other drinks that I'm doing. Now we're gonna talk some boxing. Don't worry, you know what you need. But first, all praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first. Free Palestine while we're at it. And I just want to say that it's a privilege always to talk boxing with you guys. So we're gonna get into it. Okay. Now, I'm preparing some drinks in the meantime as well, so you'll have to bear with me when it comes to the drinks. Like I said, oh, this flavor, by the way, is Morbi. I didn't label it yet. I'm still labeling my drinks. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk some boxing. All right. Come at the man says, "Hey, what's up, big man, big dog? What's happening? We talking some boxing here while I do my stuff." While I prep for some other things. It's about to rain where I'm living too. It's about to rain. Oh shit, some shit look like it's going down with the dryer. I gotta go into the next room. I'm also washing and drying clothes and doing all kinds of things. Multitasking. Alright, so we're gonna get this stream bumping. First things first, okay? The weekend fights were really good. Coming the man says, what do you think of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight? We're going to get to that. Since you guys requested, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but it's not, I don't really got much to say about it, okay? I was never interested in that fight because nothing was at stake. There was no championship fight at stake. There was no, this is not two elite fighters, you know what I'm saying? These are not in any way, neither Jake Paul nor Mike Tyson are elite fighters. So there was no reason for me to watch it. However, on that card, the thing that really got me interested was the Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor fight. Oh, man, and that was pure fire, by the way. And we'll talk a little bit about that fight, obviously, and the future for both fighters, what they're going to do next, and so on. But Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, one thing about those women, they deliver. You know what I'm saying? They deliver. Comet the man says Tyson's reputation may have gotten tainted a little. Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, he's 58 years old, which is basically skeleton's years in boxing. I mean, you dead. You a dead man walking when you 58 years old fighting a 20-something-year-old guy. I mean, come on now. Boxing's a young man's sport. I mean, I told a friend of mine that I believe Jake Paul would win. I don't think there would be any knockout, but I think Jake Paul would win. Mainly because, one, he was the promoter. Two, Mike Tyson's 58 years old, y'all. And Father Time is always undefeated. And Tyson expired. He went past his prime a long time ago. So I didn't expect anything but what I saw. It's a young guy going up against an old guy, and the old guy ain't fought in a long time. I mean, if Tyson say, because I'm hearing that Tyson wants to face Holyfield next. They want to have a trilogy. That's good. I mean, Tyson versus Holyfield is much more balanced. It's a much more equal playing field. They both old. They want to throw down, sure. Come at the man, you're right. So I never was interested in that fight, by the way. When in the COVID in 2020, was it 2020 or 2021, when Roy Jones Jr. faced Mike Tyson, I was more interested in that fight. And it was an exhibition. I wanted to see, because Roy was always supposed to face Mike Tyson. So we wanted to see what that fight would have looked like. And some people thought Tyson won, and some people thought Roy did enough to survive. But it didn't really matter because it was a exhibition fight, right? This fight, I think, with Jake Paul was a actual fight. And, you know, Mike didn't do well at all. He didn't do well at all. And then Jake boxed him. He boxed him and moved and hurt him a couple times too. So, you know, it obviously for those people invested in it was underwhelming. But for me, I knew what it was. So I never really, you're talking about a 58-year-old man. Tyson's reputation and legacy cemented in stone as the young Mike Tyson. As an older Mike Tyson, the one thing I was really, I was quite pleasantly surprised by was the fact that this old man could hang with that young boy for so long. He actually went the full distance, which is quite impressive, you know. So that more than anything else impressed me. But to say that Mike Tyson is, you know, his reputation is hurt or anything, I don't think so. Oh, he's an old guy. Okay, that's like Roberto Duran going in the ring and fighting some young buck. That just, I mean, Roberto Duran's Roberto Duran. It's not going to affect nobody. It's not going to affect his reputation. You know what I'm saying? He already made his reputation, and you make it when you're young. You don't make it when you're old. I mean, imagine Sugar Ray Leonard going in the ring. Sugar Ray Leonard's almost, 70? He's almost 70 years old. I'm fighting some young buck. It's kind of ridiculous, and that's what we had. We had a ridiculous fight, a circus act, where Tyson was in good enough shape to convince everybody that he was still the Tyson of old, but he wasn't. He wasn't against Roy Jones Jr. And he sure as hell wasn't against Jake Paul. He's not going to be that guy. He's just not going to be that guy because why? He's old. Okay, and it's just what it is. Now, if he fights a guy like Evander Holyfield, or if he fights a contemporary, the playing field is level. When you're fighting a young buck who's strong, coming into his own and everything, the playing field is not level. The playing field is just simply not level. It's just what it is, right? So we've seen young bucks beat old guys out of boxing, bad, hurt them real bad. And I just don't think, I just personally didn't think that was. Jake Paul made good money, got people excited to face a guy who was a big name in boxing. That's it. He ain't done nothing for his boxing career in terms of progressing it to say he's going to fight world champions or something like that. But he does set up something. So let's say Canelo takes the fight to fight him because Canelo's angry that what he did to Mike Tyson. It sets up a storyline where Jake Paul can get that Canelo fight that he wants. Would Jake Paul ever become world champion? Probably not. I mean, he has to look for an opportunity to face a very, 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 very weak champion and hope that he somehow can get the decision. But I don't really see Jake Paul becoming a world champion anytime soon either. He's not that guy. He's a prospect sort of guy. And he couldn't even beat Tyson Fury's younger brother. So how is he going to be, legitimate champions? I don't see that happening either. But he's building buzz, and he's making a ton of money in boxing. He's making more money than any prospect in boxing. He's making more money than even some of the stars in boxing. He's making more money than Devin Haney. He's making more, on a regular, that is. He's making more money. He's making as much money as Tank Davis. He's as much a draw in boxing as Tank Davis. The thing about it is, what Jake Paul does, and what I try to explain to people, is he does sideshows. But he's the sideshow. The rest of the card is legitimate, right? On that card, you got some really good fights. You had Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor 2. That was a hell of a fight. I thought Amanda Serrano won. I really did. I thought Amanda Serrano beat Katie Taylor again. I'm going to explain to you guys, and this is the thing that I think a lot of judges, I don't know why, these days they're going with the active fighter. They're going with the fighter that's throwing a lot of punches. They're not looking to see if those punches are effective. There are certain things that Katie Taylor did in that fight that were effective. Her clinching game was really good, and she pushed Amanda Serrano back because Amanda's obviously the smaller person. Obviously, Amanda was the one with the greater power. So Amanda actually could do things to Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor also used some dirty tactics, a la Evander Holyfield, a la what's his name? These butters, man. Manny Pacquiao versus was it Timothy Bradley? Okay, Katie Taylor would duck her head in and literally ram into Amanda Serrano's face, and then rub her head into Amanda Serrano's face. That's why the referee took a point from her, because she was deliberately doing that. That was a part of her game plan or strategy, was to dive in head first and smash into Amanda Serrano's face and eye. So that I thought that was dirty, but it's a fight, and you can do whatever you want in a fight. So if she was willing to get penalized for it, she did what she needed to do. Katie was somewhat in control of the fight at certain points when she was fighting from range. As soon as she got on the inside, she would rabbit punch. So she would hit Amanda with a lot of rabbit punches. Amanda's tough, but Amanda needed to protect her side. She wasn't protecting it too good, so she would get hit with some of those rabbit punches on the inside, which that's probably one of the reasons why the judges gave it to Katie, because they were watching how Katie would keep on, punching Amanda and bullying her on the inside, because Katie was the bigger person in that fight for sure. And she was bullying Amanda Serrano to the ropes because she didn't want to get backed up by Amanda Serrano, who would beat the fuck out of her, because Amanda was really throwing some bombs and she was coming off of her jab. So she was really technically sound. So Katie had to offset that by diving in with her head first and clinching up. While she's cleared it up, she's rabbit punching. She's punching with the free arm. So that's what Katie mostly was doing. She did catch Amanda with one or two really clean straight right hands when she's throwing her flurries, because she would throw 4, 5, 6 punch combinations coming in on Amanda. So she did something like Jeff Warren. She would just like, she's here. I'm in the orthodox stance, right? She's here, right? And she would just do something like this. She would come like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. She would just come in with a whole bunch of fucking shots. And then she'd lock up and clinch, and then she would rabbit punch on the inside, okay? So that's what she was doing. And it's funny as hell, because if Amanda only sidestepped her and timed her, she'd have catch her. And Amanda was trying to catch her with those uppercuts. So she's in the southpaw stance, and she's shooting those uppercuts right there. She'd rock back here. So when Katie's coming this way, head first in, she'd rock back this way, and right? She'd throw an uppercut. She liked to shoot the straight left to the body. So Amanda loved to shoot that left to the body, boy. She would do it. She would take the jab here. She would feint up high and then come down and stab to the body. So she was doing a lot. Amanda was doing a lot of good work, but she don't move her head. So Katie was able to catch her with shots because she wasn't moving her head enough. You know what I'm saying? But it was beautiful to watch because, oh my God, Amanda got some serious pop. She got heavy hands, bruh. She got heavy hands. You know what I'm saying? Ginger Iswell says, fix those teeth, boy. I'll tell you what. You fix your attitude, I'm going to fix my teeth. How's that? You know, y'all majoring in some shit that is so fucking minor. I don't understand y'all. This is a boxing channel. What do you expect my teeth to be, motherfucker? Stupid ass motherfucker. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, so if you watch, now Amanda her head is off center of the line, right? As she's fighting. But the thing about it is, hey, I love boxing. Y'all know that, right? The thing, but don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you very much, subscriber, for smashing that like button. I need more of y'all to smash the like button, all right? And if some of you stupid ass, queer ass motherfuckers out here keep saying dumb shit, I'll just mute your ass, okay? Because I'm talking about boxing and y'all fuckers be talking about minor shit. I don't understand. Y'all came to this fucking channel to hear about boxing, but then you start talking about some shit that don't really matter at the end of the day, okay? Okay? So stop being so petty and such idiots. Don't give a fuck what you say. If you're not talking about boxing, get the fuck off my channel. All right, so back to what I was saying. Yeah, so Amanda Serrano didn't get hit as much as people thought. Katie was throwing a lot of combinations, but she wasn't really hitting Amanda with anything. I think she did catch her with a good shot. I think it was in the 11th round. And I think that was really cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Amanda Serrano was the more precise fighter. Amanda Serrano was the fighter that was landing more than Katie Taylor. I don't give a damn what the punch stats say. She was the one. She was dictating the fight most of the time in terms of lining up clean, effective punches. Now, Amanda did start to fade coming down the stretch, but she was sweeping rounds in the beginning, okay? She really had a great first half of the fight, okay? Katie Taylor was scrapping and doing whatever she could. She was boxing mostly, right? She was using the ring. And so now some people will say, well, who was the ring general in that fight? And I'm going to explain who the ring general was. You know what I'm saying? OPG says, yo, bro, yo. So that's an interesting question because Katie Taylor was doing some good. She had some good footwork. She was moving around the ring. The problem with it is this. Katie wasn't catching Amanda. She was supposed to be setting traps and then landing certain shots. Now, she did have some really good rounds later on in the fight, so I can't fault her. She did become effective later on in the fight. She did. No, ifs, buts, or maybe. They started banging, and Amanda abandoned her jab and was just banging on the inside. So Katie got Amanda to fight a fight she could have an advantage in. All right? But Amanda, anytime Amanda hurt Katie Taylor, it was a problem. And Katie was trying to clinch a hold and then push her to the ropes. And Katie was using the clinch game way too much. But the referee didn't penalize her for it. So it's all fair. All right. And she did the right thing. If I was her, I would have done the same thing. lock up the dude, try and control the distance, right? So she was trying to make the fight her kind of fight, but she was clinching like crazy. But the thing about it is, I believe the fight kind of changed a little bit when Amanda started getting headbutted. And her eye got busted and Katie came back and headbutted her again, the same place, right? Amanda started keeping her head back like this, right? She was keeping her head back. She wasn't pressing the action like she should have because Katie would keep on running that fucking head into her eye, okay? So that was one of the major reasons why you saw Amanda kind of take the foot off the pedal a little bit coming down the stretch, because she actually let Katie Taylor off the hook. I think it was in round 10. She let Katie Taylor, she hurt her, and she let her off the hook. Okay, and I guess that she paid for that. You know what I'm saying? They called it a split decision, and they gave Katie Taylor the split decision, which is crazy. Because me personally, or was it a majority decision? I can't remember what it was. Because there's no way Katie Taylor won that fight. Come on now. I'm not saying necessarily that it's a robbery, because in this case, the fight got close. Katie was coming back. You know what I'm saying? But anytime Amanda caught Katie Taylor ends up on Queer Street. You got to note that. And the thing about it is also, people talk about Katie Taylor was going to the body a bit. She was, but Amanda was catching those shots, man. She was catching that shit. Okay, Amanda keep her guard up tight, and she's catching a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? She's catching a lot of shit. So you can't really say that Katie Taylor was landing a lot. And she was catching Amanda sometimes with the right hand. When she would, she would take 2 steps back, Katie would take 2 steps back. And then, of course, she would throw the right hand, or she would try to counter over Amanda's right hand, and then she would fall in, right? The thing about it is that, but those moments were few and far between, okay? And did she hurt Amanda? She hurt Amanda a couple times in the fight as well, coming down the stretch. But for the most part, them two was rumbling. And at a certain point in time, it was just a brawl. They were just brawling, you know what I'm saying? They were just going at each other. Amanda was throwing a combination. She liked that left uppercut, boy. Oh, Amanda loved that left uppercut. And she get caught with the overhand right when she throwing that left uppercut, but she's still throwing it. Amanda started just throwing the same kind of combination. She became predictable a bit. But at the end of the day, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano was an action-packed fight. It was an exciting fight. I thought the round person won. I thought Amanda did enough to win. I thought she did everything she needed to do. She hurt Katie Taylor early. She hurt Katie Taylor again. She was the one out, according to punch stats, which I don't care about. She was landing more of the punches. That she landed more punches than Katie Taylor, but she was more accurate. She was the more composed person. Now, in terms of ring generalship, I'll say that Amanda Serrano, early on in the fight, she was controlling the tempo. She was controlling the pace of the fight. She was the aggressor. Katie started clinching and walking Amanda to the ropes. Katie realized she needed to push Amanda back somehow, some way, and get the judges' minds to think that she was in control. So she started locking up Amanda a lot. And then through the middle to the latter half of the fight, Katie Taylor started to look like the one in control of the fight to some degree. She looked like she was the ring general because Amanda just kept on banging. You know what I'm saying? And so as a result of that, when you look at ring generalship and defense, you have to wonder who's really... now, Katie's not landing as much as Amanda. So Amanda's defense is pretty tight, okay? Katie's defense is also pretty tight because Katie keep on moving around the ring. Amanda has to track her down. She has to pin her in the corner. And if you notice, Amanda couldn't really cut off the ring and really pin down Katie Taylor. The thing Katie Taylor would do, like I said before, is she realized Amanda's tracking her down too much, right? She would start throwing those combinations, and then she would fall in. And then she would clinch up Amanda and walk her back to the center of the ring or to a corner where her back is to the center of the ring. So she has the advantage, you know what I'm saying? So I saw Katie Taylor take away certain things that Amanda Serrano early on was doing, okay? However, we must admit that Amanda Serrano put so many rounds in the bank, and then she keeps on hurting Katie Taylor. She repeatedly hurt Katie Taylor throughout this fight, right? Now, I'm not mad at Katie Taylor. She did what she had to do to win, and she got the verdict, okay? She got the judges to look at her activity. What really she did was she created conditions where she was always active. Even when she's pushing Amanda Serrano, she's clinching up Amanda Serrano, walking her to the ropes, she's rabbit punching her. She's always active. Katie Taylor stayed active. and it fooled the judges into thinking that she was in control of the fight all the way through, and that she was actually scoring and she was actually winning the fight. When in fact she did use her size to her advantage, but she wasn't the ring general all the time. One, and especially when Amanda Serrano hurt her, she knew what to do, but she was not completely in control. You could tell, right? I thought Amanda won the fight because of 3 different factors: effective punching, where Amanda Serrano was not only landing the cleaner shots, the better shots more frequently, but she was also landing the harder shots. And she hurt Katie Taylor a number of times. The cuts on Amanda, the blood that you were seeing on Amanda Serrano's face was not from Katie Taylor's punches. So you can't judge the blood, right? I understand why Amanda was so disappointed that she did not become undisputed, because even though the fight was close, I'll give you that. I thought the judges should nod it to Amanda. And both fighters closed strong. Katie Taylor closed strong. Amanda closed strong. They was trading punches with each other. But again, though Katie was landing some good shots on Amanda, Amanda's shots rocked Katie Taylor more. So how can you give this fight to Amanda Serrano when Katie Taylor's getting rocked more than Amanda Serrano when they trade shots, right? These are the questions you have to ask yourself, right? And so while I do understand, some people are saying Katie Taylor won, I understand I think Andre Ward and some of the other boxers, I think Clarissa Shields said that they thought Katie Taylor won. I'm going to tell you why I don't think Katie Taylor won, okay? I'm going to tell you why. And this is why I disagree with guys like Andre Ward. I disagree. I understand Andre Ward's a boxer. I understand Katie Taylor was doing her boxing thing. I understand she was clinching up. I understand. I saw what she was doing, how she's trying to influence the judges. I understand all of that. But you got to look at who's landing not only more, but more powerful shots and the cleaner shots. You got to look at clean work. This is what boxing's about. You got to land something. And Katie wasn't landing like Amanda was landing. That's the problem. So you can tell me all these stuff you want to tell me, but the one who was really in trouble most of the time in that fight, a lot of times in that fight, was Katie. That's the problem with it. So I can't just, and y'all can say, okay, but Amanda's a puncher, so, but that's the thing. That's boxing. If Amanda had knocked out Katie Taylor, it would have proved my point. She didn't. Katie knew what to do, but I'm saying, if she knocked her out, because the person who had the more effective punches was Amanda. Katie was visibly in disarray every time Amanda hit her. That's why she had to clinch. That's why she was smart. I'm not going to say she's not smart. She didn't just come in there off a jab or one punch or whatever. No, she coming 3, 4, 5 punches coming in and then clinch. She was smart. I'm not saying she's not smart in what she was doing, her strategy and her game plan. My problem is those 3, 4, 5 punches, if one even gets through, she was doing it to control the action, to stop the action. That's what she was doing. She was not throwing those punches to land. Okay? I understood her game plan, right? She was to try to contain Amanda so Amanda wouldn't be throwing punches and hurting her. But that game plan backfired because Amanda kept on landing punches on her and hurting her. Over and over again throughout the fight, even in the latter half of the fight, when Amanda had got cut and she was slowing down a bit, she was still landing punches and hurting Katie Taylor. Okay? And so I can't just, if y'all, okay, she didn't drop Katie Taylor, so fair play on that. But you outland Katie Taylor and you hurt Katie Taylor most of the time when you land. Then you should win the fight. That's how I see it. Round by round, this is what's happening. And that's the difference. Katie Taylor's got a lot of volume. She's throwing a lot of punches in spurts, right? But the one who's actually fitting through those punches, catching shots and really ripping shots and landing shots was Amanda Serrano. So that's why I thought Amanda Serrano won. And so, I hear Andre Ward, I hear Clarissa Shields, But I do not think that Katie Taylor won that fight. I do not think so. I don't think Amanda Serrano thinks that Katie Taylor won that fight. I think she actually made some comments to that effect. But she was gracious. She said, you know what? The judges gave me the decision. They gave me the decision. You know what I mean? But honestly speaking, I don't think that was fair. I think this should have been a majority decision or a unanimous decision for Amanda Serrano. I think so. Would the scores have been close? Yes. I think it would have been something like maybe 7-5 Amanda, or 7-5 Amanda, or maybe even 8-4 Amanda. It depends. It depends on what rounds you want to give to Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor did win some of the latter rounds, right? But I just don't. That's just me, you know. When I say smash that like button, people. That's my opinion on the situation. And after scoring the fight, okay. And it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong. It's just I think this is the second time they do this all the time. With Bivol versus Beterbiev, they gave the fight to the more active fighter, even though the more accurate, cleaner punching fighter, who is also somewhat active like the other fighter, but has to keep his defense tight, right? The cleaner, more active fighter, the more composed fighter. I thought Amanda Serrano was the more composed fighter of the two. I thought Katie Taylor was not as composed as Amanda Serrano. I mean, Amanda Serrano is ice cold when she's fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I think the difference between the two is who's keeping their composure and keeping to their game plan. You know what I mean? And Amanda's game plan, to some degree, was nullified by Katie Taylor's game plan. But then again, once Amanda caught Katie Taylor, her game plan, Katie Taylor's game plan, wasn't working anymore. You know what I'm saying? And Amanda caught Katie many times in this fight. Many times. I don't understand. Carissa is a good fan of Amanda. How could you even not see that Amanda won? And you know, I just don't understand it. But I thought Amanda won as a fight fan. I did think the fight was close. I think Katie made it close with her different strategies and tactics that she used. But I do think Amanda won that fight. I think the wrong person won that fight. I wouldn't call it a robbery because I think it was a close fight. But I do believe that Amanda did enough. Did Amanda get hit by Katie Taylor? Absolutely. Katie Taylor caught her with some shots. All right, some good shots too. Don't get me wrong. She caught her with. She didn't have the power like Amanda did, but she had size, and she caught her with some good shots. But Amanda was still systematically doing her thing. And if you look, once Katie Taylor broke free of the clinch of Amanda was the one pressuring her. Amanda constantly pressuring Katie Taylor around the ring. I don't think there's a point in the fight where Amanda was fighting off the back foot. That never happened, right? So Amanda was carrying out her game plan, her pressure game plan, and she was getting results. She was landing shots on Katie Taylor. I would have loved to see if this fight was a 15-rounder. What would have happened if we had longer rounds and everything like that? But it was a 10-rounder. I think Amanda would have come out on top because Katie was burning up too much energy fighting Amanda. Even though Katie did come on strong in the 11th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I thought Amanda matched her, but I still think that I thought that Katie Taylor lost. So that's just my personal opinion, okay? Now, with respect to Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos, first of all, to talk about this fight, we need to know who is Abel Ramos, okay? Abel Ramos fought the following people. Regis Prograis at 140, okay? He fought Crowley, undefeated Crowley, okay? He lost to Crowley by, I believe it was either majority decision or split decision, okay? Abel Ramos also faced fighters like, hold on one second. Yeah, he faced fighters like Ivan Baranchik, Jamal, not Jamal Herring, Jamal, what's his name? Hold on a second. Jamal James, okay? He faced people like Jamal James. He faced people like your Dennis Ugas. He faced your Dennis Ugas. And he had close decisions with the guy. Jamal James, split decision, loss. Your Dennis Ugas, split decision, loss. All right? He had to fight with somebody else. I can't remember who it is. Right? He fought all these guys. So Abel Ramos is a damn good fighter. He's tough, you know. And so Mario Barrios had his hands full. He didn't realize it maybe. And Abel Ramos almost pulled it off coming down the stretch. First, Mario Barrios knocked him down. He recovered. But when he hit Mario Barrios and knocked him down, Mario Barrios was in trouble, you know. And Mario Barrios was able to gather himself and fight to the end, and he got a draw. So Abel Ramos is a very, very good fighter. He's had close decisions with a lot of fighters, and now he fought to a draw. If he had pushed a little bit more, he probably would have become the WBA champion of the world. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That was a good fight as well over the weekend. Great fight. Actually, a bigger treat than it was. It was a sleeper for me. It was under the radar. I didn't realize. I wasn't paying attention to boxing like that. All right, let me just sort this up. Yeah, I love fights like that, and that was highly entertaining, in which, you know, the pendulum kind of swung one way or the other, and don't forget to smash the like button, people, and we got more than our money's worth on that one. You know what I'm saying? We got more than our money's worth on that one. So where Tyson versus Jake Paul didn't live up to the hype, at least the main event, that lived up to the hype and some, you know. That was a good fight. Then another really good fight that I watched over the weekend. That was with Ryder season, in the Ryder season stuff, was Tevin Farmer versus Zepeda. You guys tell me who you thought won that fight. I thought Tevin Farmer won that fight. And not just because he dropped Zepeda, but he was, again, I don't know what the judges be looking for. You know, hold on one second. I don't know what the judges be looking for with these fights, because it's kind of like if the guy's busy enough, you know, he wins the fight. You know, and I just recently heard Tevin Farmer say that he thinks that William Zepeda was taking something because they didn't have no drug testing for that fight. And every other fight on that card had drug testing. This is the Gilberto Ramirez versus Bilam-Smith. You know, that's the card. Everybody gets water tested except for this dude. The thing about it is, while Zepeda was throwing a lot of shots and stuff, again, Tevin Farmer was just, oh man, he was so fucking clinical. And he had some power too. He had some power. So I was really impressed with that performance by Tevin Farmer. The two fights I've seen, Tevin Farmer versus, what was the guy name? Muratalla. Raymond Muratalla. Now, I thought Raymond Muratalla beat Tevin Farmer in that fight, but whoa, man, the high-skilled, high-stakes fight was beautiful. Watch. Them two going at it, you know. But Tevin Farmer versus William Zepeda, nah, Tevin should have won that fight. And it was not a split decision fight, in my opinion. It should have been a unanimous decision. It should have been either 8-4, because 8-4 is what I think it is. Now, I think what the judges got carried away with is that Zepeda kept on throwing. So he just kept on throwing. He never stopped throwing. You know, he got hurt everything, but he just keep on throwing like a machine. And that's cool and everything, but Tevin be catching that. He could be catching that shit on his arm. He rolling and riding shot, coming back with shot. You know, Tevin was masterclass in defense. He was just watching defense. Zepeda be throwing shots at the body. Tevin just be catching that shit, you know, off the elbows and stuff. So I think they didn't understand what they were watching again. And I'm so kind of shocked. These judges just don't know fucking boxing or something. You know, and it's just like, again, O'Shaquie Foster, the first one. O'Shaquie Foster versus Concesio. You know what I'm saying? O'Shaquie be rolling shit, catching shit off the shoulders and shit. And they got Concesio winning the fight. I don't understand it. Like, these judges don't know what defense is. And they don't understand, you can pick off a guy. You can pick spots. You can start picking him off. You know, sharp shooting a guy, and your defense is tight. So you're staying behind the defense, catching a bunch of shots, and then you're coming back with something. And they're not seeing that. And Tevin was just, I mean, he was beautiful. He had William Zepeda in trouble late in the fight as well. Looked like he was going to stop him. I mean, you can't. This is where I feel like you rob the fighter. I'm not saying it was a robbery, but you rob the fighter of their chance to move on and to do some stuff. Tevin looked great in that fight. Great. That's probably one of his best performances, you know, against William Zepeda. And they talking about William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. No, man, he can't fuck with Shakur. Shakur would knock him down, beat the fuck out of him. Okay, he's too open. He's open all the time. And you saw clean Tevin caught him. Zepeda didn't even know what hit him. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, Tevin Farmer versus William Zepeda showed me just the class of Tevin Farmer. And I remember Jojo Diaz going against Zepeda, and Zepeda was beating down Jojo Diaz somewhat. But I thought Jojo Diaz again won that fight. And Jojo is a really good fighter. I think he's even better than Tevin. I just think he didn't commit himself, you know, to boxing like he should. But you know, Tevin's a good fighter, man. And Tevin should have gotten that victory. Hamlet says Tom Aspinall or John Jones. I don't watch MMA. I'm not an MMA guy. I'm a boxing guy. So if you want to know about boxing, yeah, I'm not just into all combat sports like that. I don't like MMA. I just don't. I don't think that MMA is interesting at all. So for me, it's boxing. So if you're talking about boxing, your boy is here with you. If you're talking about something else, I'm not there with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me about wrestling. Don't tell me about MMA. Don't tell me about jiu-jitsu. Don't tell me. I don't follow those sports. I just follow boxing. Hamlet says, do Jake Paul deserve all the fame he got now? Again, I'm not really interested in sideshows, right? You don't hear me talking about, Mayweather and Conor McGregor. I don't talk about that. You know why? Because to me, that's a sideshow. Even though it was a professional fight, it was a sideshow. And this stunt that Jake Paul pulled with Mike Tyson, to me, is a sideshow, which is why I never really talk about it on my channels. You guys bring it up, I have to address it. But other than that, I'm not really going to address that because to me, I mean, you beating up a 58-year-old guy. What I mean? You beating a old pensioner? Oh, you want to beat your chest? I beat a pensioner. His name was Mike Tyson. I'm like, you beat an old guy. I mean, you've been beating old guys. But when you meet up with a youngster like yourself, you're getting your ass whooped. You know, Tommy Fury whooped your ass. Why don't you fight more young guys? You know, now I'm hearing Jake Paul might want to face Andre Ward. I don't think he should do that. That's different. That's an old guy, but he's young enough to kick your ass and kick it bad. Very bad. That would not be wise, okay? Andre was a different category of fighter, okay? He's not Mike Tyson. You know, he's not Mike Tyson, okay? Mike Tyson fought only one way. Andre Ward fights many ways, okay? And he might be old, you know, but Andre Ward versus him is not a fair fight, okay? Now if Andre Ward went in the ring with Canelo, now in this time I got Canelo, but that's professional boxing. That's a guy, seasoned, multi-champion guy, blah 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 blah. And even then, I think Andre might be able to beat Canelo. Actually, when I think about it. It depends on what weight class they're fighting at, right? Andre probably would fight right now at probably cruiser or heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? If he had to go in there. But to be honest with you, I don't think Jake Paul has any experience in fighting those kinds of levels of guys. Jake Paul and Deontay Wilder would be interesting enough to see Jake getting smashed. Oh no. You can't put him in with Wilder. Are you crazy? You crazy? Again, Jake Paul is a prospect. Deontay Wilder is a former two-time world champion. Dude just put the guy in with Wilder. Not 2 times, sorry. WBC champion. He's just one time. It's just different. And he's a bigger guy. I mean, this is not a 58-year-old. This is a guy who's a little bit over it, but much in the tank to beat Jake Paul several times over. Wilder could go in the ring with 12 Jake Pauls, and he'd smoke all of them. Because Wilder punches, okay? He punches. And Jake Paul can't make no mistakes. He can get knocked out. And Jake Paul doesn't really, as you see, he doesn't have exceptional speed. He don't have exceptional sharpness, nothing. He's just good all around, average boxer. He's nothing special. Wilder is an elite boxer. Okay, he's gonna get beat by elite boxers. He's not gonna get beat by Jake Paul. That's not happening. Too big, too. All right, so Jake Paul is good. Don't get me wrong, for a guy just coming into boxing, but again, he's good up to a point, okay? And the fights that he's picking to do are ones in which the guys who are going to face him really have no shot in hell of beating him because they're either too old or they are too inexperienced. He's pulling MMA fighters. They have no experience in professional boxing. So, of course, he's going to beat those guys. He pulled in Anderson Silva, who has experience in professional boxing, but he's old as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And still, Anderson Silva was giving him all that. He was giving him that work, right? And Anderson Silva is not a top-tier professional boxer. He's just he's a newbie to the sport. He ain't got much fights. So, what I'm trying to tell you is Jake Paul, he been fighting guys who are not Tommy Fury and up. He's not been fighting that level of fighting. And that's why I say professional boxing is not sideshows. See what Floyd Mayweather does? That's sideshows. That's for entertainment purposes. And what Jake Paul does, same thing. It's not to be taken seriously. Now, he trains his ass off and everything, but the fights that he gives is big names, big followings. He makes big money. He's able to promote events off of that money, which is great. To showcase, like people like Amanda Serrano and some upcoming boxers. But he's not fighting fights that are legitimate fights to build a career, to become world champion, to compete at the highest level. He's not doing that. Okay, that's not his goal. So while he's making money off of it, which is good for him, I'm not mad at him. You have to look at it in the context of what it is, okay? The other fight I want to talk to you guys about is I spoke about Serrano. I spoke about Barrios versus Abel Ramos. I even spoke a little bit about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I spoke a little bit about Tevin Farmer versus William Zepeda. There was one more fight, Gilberto Ramirez versus Bilam-Smith. Ramirez had to overcome adversity. Bilam-Smith had him in all kinds of trouble early in the fight. Then he adjusted, he made adaptations to it, and he whooped Bilam-Smith's ass. William-Smith, of course, is inexperienced. Of course, he learned a lot facing that champion, former world champion, Gilberto Ramirez. And Gilberto's a great fighter, man. He's a great fighter. It showed that he has the balls, and legitimately he won that fight. Legitimately he beat Bilam-Smith, which was good for him. And now we're going to go to the segment, which is what is for the future of these fighters. Hold on one second. Let me just do what I got to do here. So this drink here is Sorrow that I'm about to make. The Sorrow drink. So, I'm prepping this shit. So I have a pot of Sorrow drink here. I have about 10 to 12 bottles here. I add my sugar to that big set. It's like 2 tablespoons each with this big spoonful of sugar. That's 6 right there. 8. 10, 12. I have to go to 18. 14, 16, 18. And let me explain. Remember, it's 1.5 tablespoons per bottle. I can get 12 bottles out of this thing here. So I'm going to use 18 tablespoonfuls of sugar, because when you divide both by 6, you get 3/2, which is 1.5 tablespoons of sugar per drink. You stir them up. You strain it. So this was left overnight to draw. So I actually boiled the sorrel. And after you boil it, you have to cover it down, let it draw, so you get as much of the sorrel out of the drink. Let me show you guys. This is the drink here. The sorrel right there. Now I'm stirring the sugar into it. Okay. And have all my flavoring agents inside of it. So bay leaf and aniseed and stuff like that, to give the drink its flavor. So you stir it up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there you go. So those were the weekend fights. Now, what's the future of these fighters? Well, we're already hearing rumblings and murmurings with respect to Jake Paul probably facing Andre Ward or Canelo. You know, Jake wants to face Canelo. And I heard Canelo saying something like, I'll face you, Jake Paul, or something like that. So Canelo might be interested in that fight, for real. So there's a big money fight. Jake Paul versus Canelo. That's going to be interesting if that comes down. With Mike Tyson, Tyson's thinking of a rematch with Evander Holyfield. And that's a good fight for both of them, because they're both old. And while Holyfield's in good shape, he ain't in good shape to fight younger fighters. You know, that Vito Antero Fermo fight was nasty. You know? So we got to see, you know, Tyson versus anybody will tell, I think. They may have to do it as an exhibition, though. Not a full-fledged fight. That's kind of stupid. And then, what are we talking about? Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. There really isn't much that Katie Taylor could do. She's done quite a lot in her career. The big fights that she wanted to get, she's gotten. Too small to face the GOAT, Carissa Shields. Alicia Baumgartner been calling out Katie Taylor, I think. Maybe Katie Taylor versus Alicia Baumgartner would be good. Yeah, I mean, there isn't really many fights that Katie may want to hang it up now, because she at the top of the game, and what else is there left to prove? You know what I mean? So maybe that's it for Katie Taylor. Maybe she just retire on top on top if she wants to, because she's got a lot of wear and tear on her, and she is slowing down. But she's a great fighter, no doubt about it. She's a great fighter. She's a two-time undisputed world champion. She did her thing, you know. She came from super feather all the way up to super lightweight. She fought for a lightweight title, undisputed. So, I mean, what else is there left to do? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she could just ride off into the sunset now. Even though her fight with Amanda Serrano is not resolved, you know what I mean? They may want to do a trilogy. Fans will gulp it up because it's always action. It's always nonstop action with Katie Taylor. And Amanda Serrano also is a hell of a fighter herself. So if they want to run it back again, they could do that. You know what I'm saying? They could do that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But with Amanda Serrano, she's got a lot more options because Alicia Baumgartner wants that work with Amanda. I don't know if Amanda would give Alicia Baumgartner that because Alicia Baumgartner's not as prominent. It's not as big paying a fight. You know what I'm saying? Big money fights is the thing. I don't really see anybody else Amanda could face because Curse is too big. I think that what's her name? I think Estrada, Senicia Estrada is too small. I think so. It's kind of tough because Senicia Estrada would have been good to see against Amanda Serrano, or Alicia Baumgartner versus Alicia Estrada would have been good. Not to say that Serrano can't go to a featherweight because Serrano at featherweight would be good. I mean, I don't know if Estrada could make it that high. That's the problem. I think actually Serrano actually fought at Super Bantam, if I'm not mistaken. So it's possible maybe that they could fight. It's possible. Serrano is a feather. I think she also got a Super Bantamweight title. I think she has a Super Bantamweight title. Now, I don't know if she could get out on the Super Bantamweight. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, Amanda Serrano crazy, man. She'd be fighting and defending her titles at feather, super feather, and she'd go all the way up to lightweight. You know what I'm saying? Super lightweight even. You know what I mean? She crazy, man. She crazy. Phenomenal Hall of Famer. Phenomenal fighter. Fights also MMA plus boxing. Serrano's a born fighter, man, and she got that ice cold face, man. She don't show no expression when she fighting. She just execute. You know what I'm saying? I'm very impressed with her, and she's old. Katie Taylor's could be, you know, her daughter. You know what I mean? Serrano's old and still performing. You know what I'm saying? Still performing. I mean, it's crazy. She's a legend. You know, Katie Taylor could say she got 2 wins over her. Even though I thought Serrano beat her 2 times. I really did. But the judges didn't see it my way, so it is what it is. Katie Taylor's easy work. It's crazy work. Yeah, it was good work, man. It was good work. I mean, Katie's smart. I mean, let's be real here. She was smart. She knew to clinch, kind of close down the action, try to shut down Amanda Serrano. It didn't quite work. You know, Amanda was still doing her thing, still walking her ass down, you know. But Katie was looking for ways and means to she was working at trying to win. So I mean, you can't fault her. She has grit too. Katie has a lot of grit. I'm not gonna lie. She got grit, man. She's bite down. She will bite down and fight. The problem with her is, and I will say this about Katie Taylor, and this is her problem. She got plenty of fight in her, but she's not as strategic as she needs to be. You know, same thing with Amanda Serrano, actually. Amanda Serrano started brawling with Katie Taylor when she should have measured her up, used her jab, and continue coming in off the jab. She would have gotten more results off of that. She kind of abandoned the jab later on in the fight and started banging with her. And Katie can brawl a little bit, you know. So it worked in Katie's favor there. When Amanda started systematically using her jab and attacking the body of Katie Taylor and then coming to the head, she had more success. So these are just things that you notice. Yeah, man. So yeah, when it comes to Serrano has options. With respect to Abel Ramos versus what's his name? Y'all help me here. Abel Ramos versus what's his name again? The guy that faced Tank and all of that. and Keith Thurman is on. Forgot his name. I don't know why I keep on forgetting his name. But anyway, Jaime Valdez says Serrano still won, though they robbed her. Yeah, she won. She beat Katie Taylor. She did beat Katie Taylor. I'm not gonna lie. She beat Katie Taylor, in my opinion. I mean, everything. I think I hear the professionals saying that Katie won, and I hear them, but I don't agree. I thought Katie lost that fight, and I don't think it was a split decision. Just my personal opinion. I thought Serrano clearly won that fight. And I think Serrano knew that. At the end of the fight, she was like waiting for them to, say, all right, she won. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, wow. She's like, wow, I didn't beat her this time. I kept my composure and everything. I did what I was supposed to do, and y'all still tell me I still didn't win that fight. And Serrano came up in weight and all of that. It is what it is, man. Anyway, the future for Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos. Well, Abel Ramos had such a top class performance. I think Abel Ramos deserves another shot at the title from some other world champion. Abel Ramos' performance was so good. We need to see him again. And Mario Barrios is no joke, okay? So I would love to see Abel Ramos, because he brings a fight, man. He brings a fight. I like to see Abel Ramos against another world champion, because I think he deserves a second shot at the title. I think he deserves it, man. So that's what I think about that. Abel Ramos. With respect to Tevin Farmer versus William Zepeda. Well, so they're talking about Zepeda facing Shakur Stevenson. Zepeda versus Tank. They're bringing up those names. I'd say this. They need to have mandatory drug testing year-round, because Golden Boy and their stable seem to have a lot of people be using PEDs, but they're not being tested, so we can't find out. You know what I mean? You need to be a clean fighter out here, and PEDs is a big thing out here. We saw Ryan Garcia test positive with PEDs. In fact, Canelo tested positive for PEDs, right? We can't forget that. So they need to do PED testing. But with respect to William Zepeda, I mean, I believe he's a world champion, right? No, he's not a world champion. Well, he should get a title shot and see how he does against one of the champions out there. So that's what should happen at lightweight. I don't know if they talking about him versus Shakur for the longest while. So I don't know if he will face Shakur or he can face somebody else. We'll have to see. You know what I mean? The young man is confident in his skills. Somehow he beat Tevin Farmer after getting dropped. So he's going to feel good about that. Say I beat a really good fighter. A really good Philly fighter, too. That's good. Saw is very prominent in this. All right, so what I'd say is that I'd say that four cross. Okay. I would say that I say Zepeda is gonna. They're gonna be looking at Zepeda like, oh man, you got exposed, bro. You get caught with clean shots like that. You probably ain't gonna survive against Tank or against Shakur. But we would like to see that matchup if possible. You know, there's also Lomachenko there. Lomachenko really beat his ass up, I think. And I believe there's the WBO champions or something like that. So, I mean, we have to see. You know. Mm-hmm. This will be a little sweeter. Mm-hmm. Super strong. Mm-hmm. It's real strong. Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, Tevin Farmer, what about him? Put on a hell of a performance. So we're gonna see him again. For sure. He's not gonna get a championship shot. I don't know if he's gonna retire or what. But I think it's in his best interest to maybe have one more fight. One more fight and I call it a day. You know? But he's a damn good fighter. He's a damn good fighter, boy. And even though they didn't give him the decision that he deserved to get, he's a damn good fighter. You know what I mean? All right. So that's what I got for y'all. Gilberto Ramirez showed what he's made of. So we'll see what happens in Cruiser. I think Gilberto Ramirez began a title shot just now. So we'll see how he can do. You know? We'll see how it goes from there. There you go. Bilam-Smith, well, he's a good fighter. He was undefeated. We'll see how that pans out with Bilam-Smith. But as of now, Ramirez, he moves on to getting a title shot. Bilam-Smith, who knows what'll happen? He's a good fighter. He just doesn't have enough experience, you know. So he learned a thing or two against Ramirez. That's what's up. There you go. So let's make some of this in there. There you go. Alright. Okay. So now I'm just gonna do like this. Like this. I have to mix the drinks because I added 2 tablespoons more of sugar to it. The drink was so strong, I had to kind of mix everything in. Good, so that's all mixed up now. All right, so we're going to now bottle these bad boys. Bottle them out and we're done. Yeah. So, yeah. Hamley says, have you done your breakfast, sir? No, I haven't had breakfast yet, but it's late as well, but it is what it is. Hamley. All right. Shout out to Hamley. All right, people. So I'm out of here. I'm going to catch you all guys later. I am what you need to watch my channel. If you like what you've seen, don't forget you can like, share, subscribe. You can also donate via PayPal. And this was brought to you by LIV products as I'm baking them right now. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself. Hamlet says, "Sir, where are you from? Which country are you based on?" I'm based in Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago is the most southernmost island of the archipelago of the Caribbean. Next to us is Venezuela, which is an awesome place as well. Even though Moderna is having a hard time and the country's having a hard time, they're awesome people. Actually, right next door there, my next door neighbor has a Venezuelan lady who's working there with him. So they're awesome people. My family, actually, my roots come from Venezuela. My great grandmother came from Venezuela. So there you go. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I am what you need. If you guys are in the Trinidad and Tobago area, you can also buy these natural fruit juices. I'll put the label on it soon, which is LIVE products. You can pronounce it live or live. Now, I'm gonna catch you all guys later. I'm what you need. Peace.